Hey everyone, this is username Evil Tape. I want to do a video real quick showing some Steadicams that I have and what I like about them and what I don't like about them, and it may help you in deciding on which one you want to purchase if you're looking at buying one. I'm shooting with a Sony NEX5 with one light on in the room, just in case you're wondering. And first off, let's talk about what a Steadicam is. It basically takes away all the when you're walking with your camera, it takes away all the quick little movement of walking, especially with the DSLRs and stuff like that that don't have a lot of options on image stabilization. So if you have one of these and you put your DSLR on it, now I haven't reset this one up since I was on vacation, and I have my, you'd want to take this off because this would encumber it. So mine's off just a little bit because I had it set up for another camera, but I got it pretty straight on here, but it's swaying just a little bit. But at any rate, when you're walking with this, everything is more yeah, you can see it swaying when I do that. It shouldn't do that. It should look like, I think this cord is kind of hurting it. Should be able to do this and this and it stay upright like it's doing. But I'm getting a little bit of sway, and it might be because I have too much weight or not enough. You just have to you know, adjust on it. And basically with a camera like a DSLR, where you have the battery and everything on one side and that grip, it's going to tend to want to hang like this. But that's why you have this arm here. You can just adjust the arm to counterbalance it, add weights, take weights away, so on and so forth. And ideally you just want it to kind of, see, that's swinging too much. Ideally you want it to just kind of and then stop in its position, maybe one or two small swings. At least that's what I've found. And the way I have it set up here, it works really good. And you just walk along holding the handle, and you can bring your other hand up in and grab the little ball to turn it with your finger and keep it on track. But of course you wouldn't have the strap on here because the strap really changes it a lot. This one is a made by Hague, H-A-G-U-E. It's called a Mini Motion Cam, MMC, and it works really good. I like this one. The handle actually comes off fairly easy and it pops back in, and it's really it's not it doesn't spin like I've seen some of them just sit there and spin forever, but it does have a really good movement and range of movement, so I like that. And then you just have at the bottom this little screw to go into your tripod mount to hold the camera, and you can move the camera forward and back on it to get the balance better. It's a lot of just tweaking to get it set up for that camera. That one I like. I don't know the cost on it anymore because I've had it for years, but I think it's around $70, maybe 50, between 50 and 70, something like that. It might be $99 for all I know, but you can look it up and find out. This, however, is another one that looks a lot like it, and you can see it has a bigger radius. That's not a big deal. It still theoretically should work. And for the most part it does work. But the problem with this one is, this one's a little bit cheaper in cost. I think it was probably $30 less than this one. So whatever the price of this one is, it's probably $30 to $50 less. But there's hardly any range of motion with this, and it's really annoying when you're walking with it and you want to bend down, and you end up turning the whole thing because you can see the range of motion on these things. Okay, and that's one of the key elements on this to make it fun to use and easy to use. When you start raising it up high and or low, more or less low, you start kicking the camera. You have to actually bend down with it, and you have to really walk with your arm, set up perfectly under it, and it can become, if you want to lean out to the side, you end up catching it. So this is a bad design, poor design, cheap design. I just bought these things here, stuck them on there. This one, you can hear scraping inside. I don't know the name of this one because the company doesn't, or the guy that makes it, I shouldn't say company, it's probably just some guy. He did a real good job on most of it, but they fell short on this part, and this is what you want to look for, the range of motion on this. If you can go into a store and look for these, it's really good to be able to play with it, see what kind of range of motion you get on it. A lot has to do with the fact that this cover that covers the ball just wraps around too far, so you don't have. The handle's not so bad. It's kind of small for my hands because I have rather large hands. I wear a size 14 ring because I'm 6'1", 6'2" with some thick shoes on. So yeah, I would like the handle to be a little bit bigger, and it'd be nicer if there was a hole in the bottom of it. In this one, what's neat about it is there's a hole in the bottom of it, and you can see it sticks out of the bottom of my hand. And it's really comfortable. It's got this rubber, but if you wanted to, you could have a little mount coming off where you could stick it up in there and have this, say you're on a boat, for instance, and you could make a mount from your tripod to this, and as the boat's swaying, this thing would stay with the horizon of the water off your balcony. So I found that to be really useful. So that's another thing you can do with it. But yeah, basically just be careful when you're buying these because they're so simple. A lot of people get the idea that they're simple to make, so they buy some aluminum or some steel, stainless or something, and they put this bend in there and they put a mount here, drill a hole here and put some weights on it, but then they fall short on finding a really good swivel. Before I would buy one of these, I would buy the supplies and make my own, because they are fairly easy. You can bend this by hand. You don't need a machine to bend this, and finding these are difficult though. A good one. So keep that in mind when you're looking at steady cams, that spending an extra 30 or 40 bucks sometimes isn't a bad thing. You'll get more enjoyment out of it. There's another company that makes one of these, and it's really expensive, and it's probably worth every penny if you have it. It's probably better than this one, but I found this one to be all that I need it to be, and it's easy to package in your bag. You just loosen this up and straighten the arm out, and it tucks right down in your bag. Like I keep it in the laptop compartment of one of my bags. So but you look kind of silly walking around. When I was on the boat walking around with it, and people are looking at you like, well, what is he doing? But it gets great video. It looks like everything's just flying, flying along. There's no where you're walking, left, right. This thing is just fluent. So check those out if you're interested in doing getting one. Just be careful on that, because if you buy this one, you won't use it, and you'll hate them. You'll end up sitting in the corner. You'll waste your money. If you buy this one, you'll spend $20, $30, $40 more, but you'll end up using it more and enjoying it. So, all right. Hope that helps somebody. Everyone take care.